I'm gonna be honest, I've been sitting here for 5 minutes and can't think of a good way to make an entertaining intro, so, because nobody likes these kind of things on this kind of video anyway, let's just start with the reaction. Project Morningstar, Episode 1, The Hunt. I'm interested to see how it goes. I think it's Warhammer related, or at least adjacent. So let's see.
Next-gen artillery unit deploying. Acknowledge. Turning to engage. Good hunting. Defense lines. Need to counter.
What kind of rifle is this man using? when I make a Warhammer reaction, I can dive into the meta like straight at hand, but this is of course completely new stuff to look through. Hang on. This universe is very clearly, Warhammer inspired, I think. I mean, not necessarily just Warhammer, we see recurrent themes. When you compare works of art to one another, it's very easy to get down this slippery slope of, oh, they stole that from that, and they stole this from that. I don't mean to say this, it's just, saying this to explain myself better. It's clearly dystopian, we have megacorps ruling everything. I find it interesting that they say that war's for profit and little more than a distracting entertainment for the insatiable elite. So I guess this means war amongst, the other human factions, so different megacorps warring with one another. Because then it says, some alien refugees are fleeing into the territory of the hegemony, I think it was? Yes. The hegemony reacts by, shooting them on sight, as they should. Hang on, let me go through the text as well. So, stability checks. Power delivery fail, CPU fail, memory fail, storage fail, driver fail. So whoever's transmitting this message, they're in very bad shape. And the hegemony basically says, I think you're still good to go. Just move on with your operation. Repair expenses unjustified, which is very corporate. So they're saying, yeah, we won't send a technician over there, but we will eventually reinforce you. Probably they're just saying that because they think, okay, if this unit is a lost cause, like maybe they've already written that unit off and just saying, you know what, just have a go at it. Try to, achieve your objectives and we'll send another one once you fail. The reason why I was reacting so strangely when I saw this clip was because this guy was just jerking his head very quickly and very unnaturally. Ugh. Damn, son. This clip right here where the guy is injecting something I think is interesting for two reasons. First, because he doesn't have the Star of the Hegemony. I guess that's the logo on his chest, but rather the horned skull. And what I also find very interesting, which is something that I don't really see used that much or that directly, which kind of reminds me of the first episode of Star Trek Next Generation, is the use of obviously, military drugs, military stimulants being fed, into their armor. Maybe to, calm the nerves or something. I also find it very interesting how this guy reaches, like, immediately for this sort of, stimulant. Makes me kind of think that there is very likely, an addiction behind it, of course. He isn't asking like he would be asking for supplies. He is asking like, I need this right now. Gimme. Also, the sergeant, looks at this exchange, notices it, and then looks away. He's also the only one without his helmet on. Maybe he has that because he has more relaxed protocol in his status, or maybe because he has realized, what kind of, maybe shitty situation they're in. He is also, not using stimulants, not that we see right now. So, maybe he is a little bit more aware of the dangers and situation of their employment. Let's call it that. I also found it hilarious how the guy just punched the door open, the hatch. I don't know if this is the guy on drugs or not. I also like how he gets lifted up so he doesn't have to climb anything. So, which I think makes very much logical sense. The suits themselves have also a very interesting design. So, I'm getting more Fallout vibes than Warhammer vibes, and especially with the steel plate around their neck. Also, I find this feat on their armor to be very interesting. Kind of reminds me of the Pip-Boy from Fallout. Again, I'm not trying to say they stole everything or that it's all derivative. I'm just describing what I'm seeing. Can't say much about the helmet. I think another thing about the armor design that I find interesting is that this is clearly a corporate issue, if you know what I mean. So, where in Warhammer we have, adorned armor, it's clearly, treated as something holier than thou. Most armor pieces are very special for Space Marines, of course. And this seems more like, standard issue, factory produced, just, suits of power armor with little to no painting, except for the painting that you maybe need for, protection against rust or something. Because also, the armor is just littered with little descriptive writing. So like Mark 15 on his collar, then there's something else on his collar, the B1, B2, so maybe for assembling or gearing up or something. So that is clearly something more akin to what you'd see in a regular factory-issued suit of armor. I also find the knobs on his other pauldron to be interesting, because in Warhammer this, is an indication of some sort of energy field to, shield you. We see, power armor, we see very interesting rifles. I say interesting because it's not a bolter, of course not. It is a little bit slimmer. We have seen the rounds up close, actually. Hang on. Yes. So, this cartridge is by far not as big as a bolter. But what I find interesting is it's a relatively small rifle. It has a relatively low rate of fire, at least what I can see. And yet, the barrel is already, really heating up after just a few shots. Yep. So the guy fires 3 shots and his rifle is immediately glowing from the heat. Interesting. I'm not that much of a weapon expert, so I can't really comment on why that would be. Maybe it's all just, for visual entertainment, of course, But I'd like to see the reasoning behind the weapon heating up so much, like immediately. Interesting designs on these rovers as well. Very heavily armored, low profile, at least as low as you can go. I think they're still massive vehicles, like, don't get me wrong, but, and again, this guy just takes out the speeder with his, handheld rifle. Like, yeah. Also, just because I saw this shot, the animation is very cool. It's not a Astartes level of animation, I wouldn't think so. Because, the movements and everything, although that smile was very smooth in the end. The lighting is great, the direct lighting on the moon, I think it's very, all in all, quite realistic. As realistic as you can get in a sci-fi setting. But you see it kind of with the movements of the Marines in the APC. They're kind of lacking the weight, in my opinion. So, I have been told that the makers of this animation are the makers of the original Exodite clips that we saw that have been advertised for the series. Which I can definitely see here, because this is higher quality than what we've seen on Warhammer Plus so far. Also, the music is also very interesting, very old school sci-fi, if that makes sense. That's it for today. Make sure to check out the original video, which I've linked in the description, because the animation is great, and make sure to wear better headphones than I did, because after rewatching it a bunch of times, I've realized that I've missed some nice audio clues and great audio design because of my in-ear headphones. And, if you want to, hit the subscribe button. I'm very close to hitting 3,000 subscribers to the end of the year, and I'm getting kind of desperate, which is why I'm asking. Yeah, thank you very much for joining. You'll get to enjoy some high quality content next year. That I promise you. And until we meet again, take care and have fun painting.